Welcome to another edition of the Jeff Crilley Show. I am your host, Jeff Crilley, and I'm so thrilled to have with me as my guest today, Raul Garcia. He is the CEO and founder of Best Bodies for Life. Thanks for being on the show.
Well, thank you for having me here, Jeff. I'm honored and I'm privileged that you actually would have me on, and whatever it leads, I'm so honored to be here.
Well, you look so young, fit, and trim, and I think a lot of people would find it hard to believe that you were not always that way. We're going to show a shot of your website and then a picture of you. I want you to describe this for us, a picture of you in high school.
Sure. So, as you guys can see, I mean, this was not always the case. Through struggles with family and obviously social things, you know, friends, family, and just not the best example in front of me. By the time I was 15 years old, I had gotten diagnosed with basically obesity, which has become one of the highest death rates here in America, just because of bad nutrition, bad examples in front of me of what that actually looked like to live a healthy lifestyle. And then by the time I was a freshman in high school, not only was I obese, but I was also borderline type 2 diabetic.
Wow.
And I had a whole bunch of health issues that I could probably not have hands to count.
Now the picture in the middle is you also in high school?
Yes. So the journey began in freshman year of high school, kind of the epitome of, you know, I just got diagnosed with a borderline issue, and all of a sudden you have high school sitting in front of you. You got this obesity problem already. You're just building up inside of your self-esteem, and all of a sudden it was kind of like, I need to do something about this, or not only is my high school life is going to basically bluntly going to suck, but also my health is just plummeting as we know it. So I kind of had an epiphany and decided to do something about it.
Well, you told me off camera that you joined a gym and you discovered a mentor who really changed the trajectory of your life.
Yes, yes. So, you know, a lot of people think that, you know, the best way to start, and everyone has their own medium, but they usually either, you know, well, I'm going to start on Monday at the gym, or I'm going to do this with my health nutritionally, I'm going to diet, whatever that means. Everyone has a different definition of what that means. Or I'm going to get a gym membership, etc. Get a coach, get a trainer. And I wasn't any different. I basically decided, well, you know what? Let me get a gym membership. Ask my pop, you know, can you get me a gym membership? He didn't know how to advise me anyway. My parents were also very unhealthy. And so the journey began. I went into a gym. I went at midnight just so I could kind of not be that stereotypical obese kid on the treadmill, and to avoid people. And through the grace of God, I ran into one of the Miami Dolphins nutritionists. I was living in Fort Lauderdale at the time, and he was working out, and after a few weekends, he would notice me. And he came up to me one day, and he basically just said, "You don't have a clue what you're doing, kid, do you?" And I laughed, and I was like, "No, I don't." And he says, "Can I give you some advice?" Well, that advice turned into him mentoring me and educating me, which a lot of people don't really get educated in this field. They just get sound bites. And he basically taught me what was going on internally and how that was being reflected externally, right? Not only emotionally, but physically. And I went down this journey with him.
So he said, "Kid, I've got a blender and I've got a formula that will change your life." I mean, what did he do for you?
So obviously, and I always kind of give you the foundation just so I don't give more sound bites like everyone else does, right? So he kind of just started educating me, you know, digestion, inflammation, cholesterol, blood sugar, where does that all cause from, or how does the digestive system work, etc. And he put me on this cocktail, this concoction of supplements that basically encompassed a lot of what our product is now envisioned off of, which one of the biggest things that I'm a big advocate for is apple cider vinegar. Okay. So he put me on 3 shots of that a day. I almost died. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how it taste, what the experience of it was. I just kind of took it by his wisdom and his word and his title of Miami Dolphins nutritionist. And I was like, oh, sure. I mean, I clearly don't know what I'm doing, so let's have at it. So I bought all this stuff that he had me buy, probiotics, apple cider, protein, and I hated doing it all individual.
Right. So
I would turn it, funny as it is into this cocktail in the blender, and I would pummel it all. And my mom said, well, since you're doing it too, I'll do it with you. She was on cholesterol medication, etc., which I think a lot of people can relate, because she didn't know what was good, what was healthy. She thought she was living healthy, but obviously her health wasn't reflecting that. So we went down this journey of doing these shakes, per se, just so he could just drink it and knock it all in one shot. And he would just tell us, keep your carbs low. He wasn't a big diet advocate because it was a very militant religious spirit behind it.
Sure.
Where people fall after a week, or the moment they cheat, they feel like they might as well just keep cheating because they failed. And he just says, so don't do that. Just common sense. Keep your carbs low. And what I mean by carbs, meaning rice, potatoes, the heavy starches, and just do your shake. That's basically all he had me do. And he took me out of the gym, actually, because most people say, well, you were working out too. And I'm like, no, I couldn't. I had too much inflammation. I wasn't being effective in the gym if I were to go into the gym. And so he just had me do this concoction with my carbs. And within a year, I went from obese to losing 80 pounds. My mom lost 60.
80 pounds?
Yes, sir.
I mean, did kids at school say, what are you doing?
That's exactly funny as it is, and I think it happens with a lot of people. That's exactly what happened. People, teachers, friends, family members, of course. My mom lost 60, but they were kind of more attentive on me because I wasn't just obese. My mom was heavy, but she wasn't an unhappy person. I was, if you can see that picture, the first one.
Yeah.
That's my freshman year school picture. That's me smiling.
Wow. You probably also saved yourself from a whole high school experience of bullying.
Oh yeah, I mean the bullying was already terrible in middle school. People had names for me. My brother had names for me. I mean he called me No Neck. And eventually you either embrace it and just say, well, I'm going to be the fat kid. I'm either going to make a mockery, and that's what I did all through middle school. But eventually I got sick of it. I was literally personifying the obese kid as a humorous persona.
Right.
And I got into a new high school. It was actually a technical high school, so none of my middle school peers were in there. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, let me start over. And that was kind of the other variable that kind of was like, well, look, I just got diagnosed with this diabetic thing too.
Right.
I'm going into a new high school. Not a lot of people in the middle of school get a reset button. And I believe God gave me a reset button, so He did. And
so this gave
route.
birth to your company, and now you're saving people the hassle of having to come up with a cocktail. Let's go back to the website to show. Can you just kind of give us a tour of your products as you scroll down?
Of course. So I always share with people, if you go to the little bit lower, most of these products are pummeled, protein shakes per se, or nutritional shakes, or meal replacement shakes, or anything like it.
Right.
They're usually pummeled with ingredients that you either cannot pronounce, and if you can, you really have no idea what the purpose of them are, or what quality, sourcing, etc.
Right.
So for me, and because of this guy that was mentoring me, transparency, purpose, reason for why that's in there. Let the customer or let the person that wants to go down this route know what they're putting in their body, hence Best Bodies. I wanted to make it a very clean and transparent product, and every ingredient inside of the product, not only is it less than 10 ingredients, but it was very purpose-based ingredients.
And it tastes good.
And it tastes phenomenal. That's the best. That's what seals it, yes.
Right? So no matter how healthy it is, if people won't drink it because they can't, stomach it, it's just going to sit on the shelf.
Absolutely. So, he had me drink this concoction. What to me, and I'll be candid, it tasted terrible. So when people started asking me, how do I do this? People would kind of do it for a while and they'd see results, but they still would tell me, why don't you help me do something that I don't have to force the way down? Well, when I graduated high school, I had it had gotten to a point where it was a non-profit and etc. And it had gotten pretty big. People kept telling me over and over, why don't you create a product that has all that stuff, but could I enjoy it? Well, it went out one ear, went out the other. But the more you hear it, eventually you think, well, maybe I got something. So I went down this journey. And yes, as you mentioned, you get all these benefits, the apple cider vinegar, the protein, but you can literally stir it in water and anything, and it's like drinking ice cream without the sugar, the carbs, or the artificial replacements.
Okay, now I know it's not easy. You can't just walk into Whole Foods and say, hey, will you stock my shake, right? There's a whole process, and I'm sure you learned it the hard way.
I have, very much so. So I was 18 when I started this journey. I didn't have a clue about the retail world. I didn't really know much about the business world. I just thought, well, I got an idea. I want to share it with the world. And I literally, again, to the grace of God, I got opened into our online website, and we kind of got into a little test trial with Amazon to see if people would purchase this. Because in my mind, I think this is awesome, and people I would help thought it was awesome. But I didn't know if the world was going to think that. Well, it started to sell. And little doors started to open. I wouldn't say Walmart or Whole Foods or anything like that started opening, but we got it into little mom and pop health food stores.
Sure.
And as people would taste it, hear the story, look at the ingredients, look at the benefits behind the product, and then, like you said, taste it, it just started to sell to the point where major brands, not to name them because there's no point for that, but it started outselling all of them.
Wow.
And I don't say that because the product, that's not the focus here. It's the aspect of the product was speaking for itself, the taste spoke for itself, the journey spoke for itself, and then the testimonies created a spiral effect that got us into other stores. And by the end of the year, we were selling all over Texas.
All right, give us some, name drop a little bit. What are some of the bigger stores that are carrying this?
So right now we're in Central Market HEB. That's
Awesome.
Basically our biggest retailer.
Sure.
And then we're in several small chains, Sunflower Shop, Family Health Market, Vitamins Plus. They have about 10 retailers across Louisiana, Texas.
That's great.
And those are the hubs of our, mostly my vision still even retail-wise is to put it into places that people understand the value, because it's a product that has a vision behind it.
Right.
So it's not the Walmart product, it's the place where people are looking at the product behind it, looking at the label, and they want to know what they're putting inside their body.
Are you getting fan mail now? I mean, from people who are on it and have lost weight?
Well, not only the fan mail, you'll have it on the website too. I'm sure it's on there.
Some testimonials?
Little kids. I mean, we have videos of, actually on the website, we have a little boy named Noah that's been drinking it for years now, where he couldn't put food down. He was picky, and I think most moms would understand this.
Right.
3, 4, 5-year-olds.
Which video is it? Scroll down a little bit.
If you go down right to the little boy right there drinking it.
Go ahead. Let's play a little bit of that, Matt,
Yeah.
if we can.
And if you can hear it, he literally says, "This is awesome."
Does he?
Yeah, and we have countless videos like that on our social media. But it wasn't. If you look at this video, we didn't put this in a program. We didn't stage it. We're sitting in the grocery store. He tastes it, and we're like, "Could I take a little video of you?" He's like, "Yeah, well, if you give me another shot." And it just created the spiral effect where kids were, "Can I take a picture of it?" Because they see all the testimonials. And yeah, it's created this family-friendly, very just kid-friendly, mom-friendly, which in this world, its products are very intimidating. The supplement world is very intimidating for most people.
Yes.
Our product took that intimidation out of the picture, and it made it really transparent. And once kids tasted it, then mom tasted it, and they looked at the ingredients. It was just, this is too good to be true. They looked at the ingredients. It's like, it's not.
That's amazing.
They'll grab one, then two, and then now we have this just kind of snowball effect that I'm hoping that, we've only been in business for a couple years, to just grow and just share this with as many people as possible.
Well, we're almost out of time for this segment. Can people buy it online? Can they buy it from your store or Amazon or
Yes, absolutely. So they are in retailers, but obviously we can send them right to the website. So yes, the website is literally just on the shirts, bestbodiesforlife.com.
Bestbodiesforlife.com.
You can find the product as well, and I didn't mention to you this early, but you can also go, and this is a promo I do when we do things like this. If you go to Make It Simple, bbflshakes.com, you get $10 off, and it's free shipping too.
So what does a package of it cost?
So on the retail site, they retail about $34.99. You get 17 shakes, so it's a little bit under about $2 a serving.
Right.
It's a full meal, so that into context, it holds your appetite for about 2 to 4 hours. So you're basically spending about $2 a day, which is no different than most protein shakes.
You got a customer. I'm going to go ahead and then $40 plus some tax, a little bit of tax.
Well, no tax in the food world, so no, you're good.
Tax. Really?
No.
All right, I'm your first customer, or your most recent customer, I should say.
Well, thank you, my man. Appreciate it. And the product speaks for itself once you try it. So
hey, I'm convinced. I'm convinced.
Thank you.
Listen, thanks for being on the show.
You as well.
I appreciate you, sir.
Appreciate you.
All right, and we'll see you next time.